Action. Good evening, one and all. It's just gone 9:30. Welcome to Seas of Wisdom Facebook Live, brought to you every Tuesday by me, David Daniels, aka the Shy Man. And I hope you've had a good week. I've had a good bank holiday with Easter break. In case you hadn't noticed, I've got a slightly different location. So I am recording this from my mother's house. I had to come over here on an errand while I'm here. Why not take advantage of it? So there we go. Like I say, my name's David Daniels. I also go by the name of the Shy Man. It's kind of my public speaking name, a bit of fun. Just to encapsulate my journey from being crippled by shyness, overcoming shyness, and moving on and just moving, making the most of my life, making the most of the blessings that God has given me. Thank you for all that have joined. If you want to say hello, then please do. I'm still experimenting with this new technology, so I hope you can hear me well. Good evening, my brother Utan Maris, definitely played a massive part in the last year on me developing myself, my public speaking skills, my confidence, and just believing in myself and who I am. So, and I know Utan's in a similar position to me. Mr. Leeds, I've got the main man here, and welcome. I've got to show up. And congratulations on the news about the pregnancy of you and your wife. That's fantastic news. So last week I did a pre-recorded video. I like to do these live, but I did a pre-recorded video. I'm involved in. I've started my own business now. I've got involved in Training Kings, which I'll talk about later on, which means my time is more restricted than usual. So I'm still committed to bringing these. I did think about giving these up, but for me, these are my hobby. It's what I love doing. It helps me with my creativity, so I want to carry on doing these. But last week I did a recorded video. I'm committed to bring as many of these live as possible because I miss out on that interaction with you guys as well. So last week I did a video. It was called Be an Instigator. And it was, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. It's also up on YouTube as well. It was all about starting something. And often some people are in positions where they don't like the situation, they've been moaning it, but rather than moaning about something, why not start something? And often when you start something, you attract people of like-mindedness will draw to what you're doing. And I believe to some extent that's what entrepreneurs do. That's what business owners do. They take a risk. They start something. Think of any job you've had. Think of any company that you've worked for. The owner would have had to take some risk to start that business, and you had that job because of the risk that owner's taken. And I like to make people think differently about things. And one of the action points that I suggested to people was actually going and thanking their employer, the owner, for taking that risk and starting the business. Because if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have the job that you're in. Often, rather than bemoan your situation, have a look at it from a different angle. And I was encouraging people to start something. This is when my whole journey started with Facebook Live, from me, from my own journey with shyness and trying to change that for other people going through shyness, for other people to hopefully be able to relate to what I'm saying and to be inspired by that. So that's one of the reasons I started. The main reason I started doing Facebook Live, Seeds of Wisdom, which it developed into. So this week is a part 2. This is a case study on myself. Kind of, I can talk a good game with the best of them, but this is about my journey being an instigator or joining part of something that is instigating something new, something different. So this journey is in with partnership in Training Kings. If you see my Facebook picture, my cover photo, I updated it. I'm now officially a partner with Training Kings, which is a UK's #1 Christian networking business company. And what does that mean? And how did it come to that? It was actually the first instance I came to know Training Kings was completely by accident. So I've got a friend of mine, a good friend, who I've come to know through work, and he's been a good time friend of mine. We don't often speak often. We're both busy, but when we do, I just got a big respect for him. So anyway, he branched out into business for himself last year. I was speaking to him about that, and I said, "Have you heard about business breakfast events?" And he had no idea what I was talking about. And for me, this is something I became involved with from my network marketing days all those years ago. I signed up to Amway just before I turned 18, and part of me promoting myself, my business was going to business breakfast. So often business owners meet, usually early in the morning, not always, have a breakfast and network with each other. Often someone would give us give a talk, you introduce yourself. You often get a chance to talk about your business in 60 seconds and what you're looking for, what type of clients you're looking for, what have you. And you have the breakfast and your network, and that's it. You go off to run your business or go to your workplace, whatever it is. So from my network marketing days, I knew about all that. So I was trying to encourage my friends to go to these events to promote his new startup business. He had no idea what I was talking about. So, okay, let me go and look around and see what's going on, because kind of the big players and the more established people, like BNI, I'm sure was still around, but I wasn't sure if there was other ones that sprung up. So I went on the internet, as you do, Googled it, found BNI was still there. There was a few others as well. But I saw this one called Training Kings, which, as far as I know, wasn't around when I was going to business breakfasts myself. And I thought, what's this? So I looked into it, saw that it was for Christians. It was a Christian networking business, right up my street, because 7 years now since I've come back into faith for myself, and I'm very keen about entrepreneurship and business and bringing that and faith together, because in my experience growing up, they were kind of split apart, or I was led to believe that the two can go together, which is absolutely not the truth. So I was intrigued by this Training King. So, I mean, I live in Ipswich now. I'm from London originally, but I live in Ipswich. And my first thought for myself was, it'd be great if they had one in Ipswich. I can go to it. At this moment in time, I hadn't started a business, but I had loads of ideas running through my head. It'd be great to go in this and mix a lot of Christians who are actually making a difference in the marketplace, bringing their faith to the marketplace. I had a look. There wasn't one in Ipswich, but there was one in London. There was one in London, in Chelsea. So it actually coincided. It worked really well. Sorry, let me backtrack a bit. The other thought I had, other than is there one in Ipswich, when I saw there wasn't one in Ipswich, just a little seed, just a little tiny little mustard seed, probably smaller than a mustard seed, said, I wonder if I should start one. I wonder if I can get on board and start one. The first time I seen it, but I thought, oh no, leave it for another day. You're trying to get other businesses going. Focus on one thing at a time, because I've been guilty of focusing that wide and really delving shallow. So I really wanted to focus on just one or two things. So I left it as an afterthought. I think I contacted them actually in email. I think actually it may have been, I don't know who it was actually, may have actually suggested that. That may be where that idea came from at the time. Anyway, coincided, or it happened to be in London in December for a different event, and they had the Chelsea event actually on the same day. So I went to it, absolutely blown away. I didn't stay for all of it. I had to go to his other event, but absolutely blown away by it. And I thought, wow, this is fantastic. I want to be part of this, definitely at some point. Excuse me. Kind of followed what they did, but I also had that nagging thought in my mind. Would I be taking on too much if I really kind of push that then and say, look, can I open one in Ipswich? Can I open one in Ipswich? So kind of left it. Then a discovery day came up back in March, where they were looking to grow the amount of branches that they had, and they wanted to get a day for potential branch leaders to find out more. And my first thought was, I just started my business, Shyman Solutions Limited, in October, so busy and still busy getting that off the ground. I thought, no, this is the wrong time. I don't want to spread my focus. I really need to get this business going, because I'm still working full time, still got family commitments, church commitments, whatever. Don't spread yourself too thin. Just focus on that. And I was in contact with Francesca Louise, who's the operations manager. God bless Francesca and her patience with me, and was kind of going back and forth. I was coming and ahhing. I was asking, are there other dates available? And she said, I think there's one in May, but that's in Wolverhampton, and then they haven't got any more planned for the year. And sometimes, sometimes you just need to, if you don't take advantage of a situation there, then it will be gone forever. And I didn't know if I would have missed the boat. So I'm sure I wouldn't have, but go to Wolverhampton or go to London. London's a much more convenient for me to go. So I thought, you know what, let me go, let me find out more and what have you. So I went to the day, sorry, forgive me. Um, Samuel was there. Samuel is the owner of Training Kings. He's the creator of Training Kings. And I've missed out a bit of, there's a lot of coincidences in this journey, or God incidences, you want to call it. So Sharman Solutions Limited is a property consultancy. I'll talk about more about that another time. But I was listening to a podcast. I always bang on about this podcast, The Rising Generation. And Samuel happened to be on, this is after I found out, he was on, being interviewed on this podcast. So fantastic. I already know about Training Kings. What I didn't know about him, that he started out in property as well. So similar coincidences there. He started out just before he was 18, retired by the end of, was a millionaire, valuation properties by 21. And what I call a kingdom builder, really looking to do big things for God and spread the message through business. I'm really encouraged by that. So that was kind of another coincidence. Anyway, went to the Discovery Day. Samuel was there, which was fantastic. Heard him speak about his story. If you ever get the chance, please listen to his story. It's it's quite emotional in terms of his journey. Not easy business, and like I said, business of faith. Some people don't think it goes together, and Samuel evidenced that firsthand. I'm not going to spoil it. Listen to him tell his story, so we get the opportunity. So I was really encouraged by that, by the whole day. I met a lady there who I actually knew through Facebook. When I started my speaking journey, one of the groups I was involved with, she contacted me and asked me about public speaking courses. This lady was there, met her for the first time, wonderful lady, another coincidence. And probably the biggest coincidence is she actually lives 20 minutes from me in Colchester. So now we're talking about collaborating, joint venturing, whatever you want to call it, partnering to open a branch together in the near future. And just how crazy is that? God works in mysterious ways, and it's not just a saying, it's true. So absolutely fantastic day. And the thing I liked about it, it kind of was an answer to me. My predecessor said they're looking to open, I think, 20 branches by the end of the year, but they're not looking to open them in a rush. So they're looking to take their time with it, make sure it's the right people, the right fit, the right location. There's a lot that goes into organising it. And that was just music to my ears. I just thought, right, I don't have to stress about having to manage opening the branch. That's where I start my own business, what have you. And the fact that I've got this lady who we can do it together and share the burden, this is absolutely fantastic. So they offered the opportunity for people to partner with them. There was a fee involved, minimal fee, absolutely crazy fee to get involved. And I thought, you know what, I don't have all the answers now. I'm trying to do a million and one other things, but I'm just going to put my name in the ring. I'm going to go for it. It was an application based, and I thought, I'm encouraged by this. For me, it's a way to bring the message of Christ outside of the church, and that's something I'm passionate about. Not just keeping it contained within the four walls of a church building, and to spread out and show people what it is to be a Christian in all areas of life, in work, in politics, in entertainment, in sports, in business. I'm going to make my way around the rest of them at some point. Let's start slowly and see where we go. So yeah, I thought, you know what, I'm in on this. Put my application in. Was a bit nervous. I wanted to be. If I didn't get picked, that's fine. But would have been disappointed. And unfortunately, thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Fran. They accepted me in. I got my certificate last week, which is there. And now, what is it? What is my job as a partner? It's really just to help spread the message. Ultimately, they'll be going to leave in the branch, but for now, it's just sharing what I do with you guys. Open an invite, so I'll post a link if you're interested. You don't have to be a Christian. It is underpinned by Christians, so we do pray beforehand, and everything we do for God. But you don't have to be a Christian to be a member. That's the other thing. I should join up to be a member now. So I'm actually a member. of Training Kings. So I'm involved in networking meetings, and obviously I began there with my business hat on as well as my partnership hat on as well. So, and the other thing is you don't have to have a business to come down to the meetings. And that, if I'd known that 3, 4, 5 years ago, that would have been fantastic for me, because I have so many business ideas, and it would have been great to have that connection with people who would have given me godly, wise advice about how to discern. Fortunately, I got that advice from someone else, so I'm good in that area now. But it would have been good. So even if you're just thinking about, oh, what is it, an entrepreneur? You hear a lot of people banded around this thing, entrepreneur. You've seen Dragons Den, you've seen the one with Lord Sugar, forgive me, The Apprentice. Being an entrepreneur, being a business person seems a very glamorous lifestyle, and although there are many, many benefits, it is not for everyone. So maybe you just want to find out if being an entrepreneur is for you. What is behind all this hype of being an entrepreneur? There is a lot of hard work involved, especially when you're juggling it with being an employee. So even if you're just thinking about business or want to know about another option, for me at school, I wasn't really told about what it is to be an entrepreneur. Just given what job do you want, what career do you want, and just knowing what options are out there so you can pick. Or maybe entrepreneurship's not for me. Maybe I just need to be the best employee that I can be. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being employed. I think people kind of trample down on being employed because they haven't really been exposed to the other elements, such as being an entrepreneur. But not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur. If everyone's an entrepreneur, will be the employees that we need. For me to really not end up being self-employed in the sense I'm just managing myself, because with Shine Solutions, if I'm ill and I'm not able to work, the business is not generating any revenue. And now, for me to be able to systemize it and possibly one day sell it on, I've got to have a team of people. So the world needs employees, but not everyone's cut out to be an employee. Not everyone's cut out to be an entrepreneur. You need to find out where you sit. There's a great book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Read it. If you want a shortcut, go straight to the quadrant. There's 4 squares. One's got E, one's got SE, one's got B, and one's got I, and one's got O. One's employee, one's self-employed, one's investor, and one's owner. Go straight to that and read that. That will give you a fuller picture of what your options are, and then spend your time figuring out what they are. So that's how I got to become a Training King. So I'm just here to support the vision, which is inspiring and equipping Christians in business, because there's a lot of us that have been miseducated that it is wrong to earn a profit, it's wrong to be wealthy and be a Christian. They can't go together. Absolute nonsense. They both can go together. Money is just a resource, but just time is just a resource. I'm sure many of us have more time, where there's a million more things we'd love to do. If we have more money, there's a million more things we have to do. People who use money in the wrong way, people who use time in the wrong way, is what's in their heart. Yeah, it's not love of money that makes the root of all evil. It's the person behind it. There's a selfish heart that doesn't matter if they have 1 penny or £1 million, they'll be selfish with that. The money is just a resource, and the more money I have, the more I can bless myself, and the more I can bless others, the more time I can potentially have to bless others with my time. So I see myself being a part of Training Kings also to change that miseducation. And if you follow me right from the start, you follow me on my journey, a lot of what I talk about goes back to education. A lot of what I talk about. Public speaking. Why is it the #1 feared thing in the world? I believe some people would rather die than speak in public. Just think about that statement. Think about how crazy that is. But why is that? Because we've been conditioned, the majority of us have been conditioned to not speak in public, or it's the fear of the unknown. Now, if public speaking was part of the curriculum, I don't think that statistic or that saying would be valid anymore. You teach people how to public speak, even if they're shy, even if they're introverted, how to come out of that. Because at the end of the day, when you're in an interview, what are you doing? You're public speaking. You're selling yourself. If you just sit there and be quiet and just rely on your CV, it's not going to get you anywhere. So you're going to have to open your mouth and speak. And the more that doesn't mean just because you speak in the interview that makes you all of a sudden makes you an extrovert person and makes you an outgoing. No, you can still be shy. You can still have a quiet spirit and sell yourself. But it all comes back down to training. What kind of training have you been given at school by your parents, by your peers, by elders, by the church? And that's why I believe that public speaking is the number one thing, because for most people it's the unknown. And it's skills and training and practice that will get you to a position. You may never be comfortable with it, but you know when you need to do it, you know how to do it. So a part of my role as in training, I believe, is to re-educate Christians and maybe other people of faith, to show them that faith and business absolutely doesn't need. If you read your Bible, God wants us to be wealthy. God is the creator of business. Jesus had a carpentry business. Paul had a tent making business. This is not new stuff. So somewhere along the journey from here to now, the waters have been muddied for some people, and I want to be part of an organisation that's changing that and actually helping Christians and business. Business can be a lonely place. Faith sometimes can be a lonely place. So we want to encourage others. And for me, unselfishly, I want to be around people like Samuel Leeds. I want to be around many of the people in Training Kings, kingdom builders, making a massive difference. I want to expand my thinking. I want to take this crippling, limiting self-belief that I've carried around for so many years, telling me, you can't do this, David. You're too quiet. You're too shy. You're not good enough. You're not good looking enough. All those self-limiting beliefs I had on myself, I want to break them off. I'm starting to, but I want to break them off even more. And even when I'm starting this journey of business, when I'm saying, oh, can you really do this, David? Is this for you? All I'm saying to myself at the moment is, why not me? Why not me? And that's my motivation. If it can happen to other people, why not me? What's so different? What's so wrong about me? And that's my driving force at the moment. So that's my journey. That's me being part of something, instigating something now, and hopefully I can instigate something in Ipswich, the Training Kings branch, or Colchester, somewhere in between, and that ripple, I'm sure, will attract others and make the wave bigger. So that's instigating an action. There you go. I talked the talk last week. I'm walking the walk this week, but I need wisdom as well. Like I say, I'm working, I'm starting a business. I'm on Training Kings now. I'm quite active in my church. And one thing when you go to these networking meetings, if people see and are attracted to you and see that you're going places and that you've got a good heart, whatever, they will want to share their business with, or they want you to come aboard with what they're doing. And a prayer request for myself is that I can't jump on everything at the moment. So it's knowing how to say no. Big learning for me this year. Knowing how to say no to opportunities, or not for now. Or not for now. There's only so much of me that can go around for now. So that's it. I hope you've been encouraged with it. For those of you waiting for your homework, I like to give a bit of a homework, a Shimon's takeaway. I don't just want you to watch this and think, oh, that was nice, that was good, and then watch the next Facebook Live from someone else and then watch YouTube. My difference, if you want my unique selling point, if you want to call it that, business, is I encourage people to take action on what I'm saying straight away. I used to do this for half an hour, 45 minutes. I wanted to cut them down to 15 minutes. That's kind of an ongoing work in progress. But the reason I wanted to do that is that as soon as you finish watching this, you need to take a minute or 2 minutes to take a step of action, just a small step of action. For me, that makes doing this worthwhile. So my homework, my Shiner's takeaway, probably similar to last week. Hopefully this is further encouragement. What are you going to instigate? What is it in this world that dissatisfies you? What is it then when someone speaks to you, you moan and moan? For me, it's education. You get me started, I'll talk for hours about my dissatisfaction with the state education system. Take that and make a change, instigate something. There's a guy called Eric Smarts, another Christian guy, another what I call kingdom builder, business-minded person as well, um, based up in the Midlands. He says we're all here to solve a problem. Each one of us is here to solve a problem. The person invented the telephone, the person invented the light bulb, saw a problem, solved it, and made our lives easier. So what are you here? What is your purpose? That's my homework to you. If you want an easier homework, then at the moment, I've got complimentary tickets to Training Kings. There's even a book in there, a free book as well. Just pay postage and packaging from Samuel Leeds. Fantastic book. I'm working my way through it. The thing I like about his book actually is at the end of each chapter, he encourages you to take action. It's a small exercise which is totally in line with what I'm doing, what I believe. So if you want to come with me, I usually go at the moment because there's not a branch in Ipswich. I go to Chelsea, Central London branch, second Saturday of every month. If you're interested, contact me personally, and I'll give you a complimentary ticket. You get the pleasure of coming with me. If you don't like me, just take the ticket and go. I won't be offended. All right. So at that point, I'm going to love you, leave you. No, not sure how long I've been recording for. There we go. 25 minutes. Work in progress, like I said. Shine and smile. Have a great week. For those of you interested, I pray online on Sundays. Prayer time. Imaginative title. You don't want to be around for that, then God willing, I'll be here next Tuesday for another season of wisdom. Anything you want me to speak about within reason, let me know and I will speak about it. Take care. God bless. Bye now. Let's post a link. There you go. That's a link for all the events that Training Kings run up and down the country. If there's one in your area, complimentary tickets still open to you, even if I can't make it myself. All right. www.trainingkings.co.uk/events. Something I don't do enough of is self-promote myself. So if you want to watch my previous videos, been doing this since July last year. There's a podcast in there with my good friend Button. Still blessed that he invited me on there. Very long in that journey he took. Go to YouTube. There's a link in my profile. Much easier thing to do. If you go to YouTube and put David Daniels, Seeds of Wisdom, you'll find me there. Take care. God bless. I am going now. Bye now. Yo.